MI5 refused to investigate Russian spies, links to Tories, says whistleblower.
Here's a summary of the article.
MI5 repeatedly refused to investigate evidence that an alleged Russian spy was attempting to cultivate influence with senior conservative politicians and channel illegal Russian funds into the party, a Tory member has alleged in a new complaint lodged with the Investigatory Powers Tribunal. Labour MP Ben Bradshaw said, allegations that the security services ignored evidence from a conservative whistleblower exposing Russian infiltration at the highest levels of the party are truly shocking, and claimed the Conservative Party's Russia problem was an ongoing threat to Britain's national security. The allegations center around the formation of a group called Conservative Friends of Russia in 2012, and its relationship with a Russian diplomat, Sergei Nalobin. When Nalobin learned that Christo was a volunteer with the Treasurer's Department of the Conservative campaign headquarters, he said he could make introductions to Russian companies who would donate money to the Conservative Party. Christo offered to meet Nalobin again and question him while wearing a hidden camera about how the Russian government intended to make the donations. In 2017, The Observer published an article that referred to Nalobin's interest in the rivalry between David Cameron and Boris Johnson and his forced departure from the UK. It resulted in a series of furious emails from the Russian ambassador who sought to correct the article. If MI5 had taken action, Conservative Friends of Russia would never have launched and Nalobin would not have been allowed to get close to so many key conservative politicians and party members.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
They suppressed a report on a similar investigation back when Bojo was in office. Russia has telegraphed for years that their interests align with Tories' isolationist policies.
For anyone playing along at home, this is more about the Tories' billionaire donors. All those Russian oligarchs, whose unsanctioned children have massive UK property portfolios, have been in their ear telling them the way to do things, then these donors go and make demands of politicians. Of course the Tories don't want any light shone on these issues, their sources of funds are at risk.
Dominic Grieve, Conservative, UK Government Chair of the Intelligence and Security Committee until 2019.
2 words, Lord Lebedev.
They gave him Hampton's title, an affluent village in the borough of Richmond-on-Thames. All of this does however illustrate the influence he holds over the Tories. When Boris Johnson won the general election, guess who hosted the party? He owns the Evening Standard and the independent newspapers.
Greater than since Moscow isn't a domain of Britain, it would have been ridiculous and clearly impossible. His title is Lord Lebedev of Hampton and Siberia. Siberia isn't a British domain.
They actually added Siberia, or did he just append that himself? Wow. I suppose if they allowed it, would be due to it not being as controversial as having Moscow be said aloud when introduced at the House of Lords, not quite so on the nose. What on earth is going on in this country?
It's time to start investigating all cases of inactivity by security forces in Western nations, in the face of Russian agents or suspected Russia-sponsored mobs. MI5 won't look? Time to look at Michigan 5.
Who will police the police?
The police.
Thank God we don't need some kinda police. I might start to worry.
That's what the police are for. It's all good. Remember in the 80s when Russia was the boogeyman for all these conservatives? Kind of amazing to see the turnaround.
Key difference as they were godless communists. Putin's Russia is a Christian nationalist's wet dream.
Just imagine if all these billions upon billions of dollars, rubles, pounds had actually been used to improve Russia itself and make it a great country, rather than used to vengefully tear down the West purely out of spite. Just imagine.
An EU with a democratic Russia would be a true superpower capable of standing up to the US and China, and democratic Russia would be by far the most powerful member. It would be everything Putin claims he wants for Russia. Goes to show you what his priorities actually are.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.